Also focusing tonight on the historic protests that occurred last year targeting police accountability and the sweeping reforms passed right here in Colorado. And while some say more work still needs to be done, others are struggling to meet the requirements of a new law, what was once Senate Bill 217. Our Colette Bordelon takes a deep dive tonight into rural parts of southern Colorado where law enforcement is concerned body cameras could break the bank.
Rural America.
We're Fowler. We are a very small agricultural ranching town.
So small, in fact, its police department consists of just 5 officers. Chief Jeff Worth required to buy body cameras to comply with a new law.
It's hard for us to get this stuff at the last minute.
So we went ahead and got them before July of 2023 rolls around, when local law enforcement will be required to have them.
The issue we ran into was storing the evidence.
Worth says the price to download that footage is double the purchase price of the cameras, but the law estimates a camera would initially cost over $2,000, with an ongoing cost of $1,200 for data storage. First year costs for an agency needing 100 cameras would be almost $350,000.
I'm not saying cameras are bad. I like them.
He does have issues with other parts of the law, like the fact that officers can be held personally responsible if they violate someone's civil rights. Fremont County Sheriff Alan Cooper has the same concern.
We did have several deputies that quit.
Out of 28 patrol deputies, 2 have left, and 1 was a supervisor.
I have a very strong opinion about people who know nothing about this field making laws that negatively impact the work that we do.
Sheriff Cooper already had a 3-year plan in place to get body cameras, but this law pushed that timeline up.
There's a lot of things that the bill was pushing forward. Progressive law enforcement agencies in this state are already going in that direction.
They've turned their cell phones into cameras using a special software. All of their patrol deputies are already out and about with the new technology. It cost just under $35,000, and they paid for it by dipping into their reserves.
Data storage, it's money.
And the data storage issue stretches into the mountains of Teller County, too.
Now I have to go in and ask for a budget increase to $250,000 to $300,000 on an already struggling economy.
Where Sheriff Jason MIKESELL says he'll have to hire 2 new staff members just to handle redactions on the footage.
Who's going to fund that? Well, the taxpayers have to fund that.
He says the call volume has gone up in Teller County.
And I don't want to reduce services to go buy body cameras. We're already at very reduced ability to serve everyone all the time.
He didn't request the money in 2021 and isn't sure if he'll be able to ask for it next year.
Vigilante legislation.
But those behind what was Senate Bill 217.
I welcome law enforcement into these conversations about reform and about reimagining policing.
Say there's more work to be done when it comes to police reform.
We're just holding them to the standard that they say that they hold themselves to, and we're just writing that in statute.
For the families of these victims of law enforcement brutality, the issue is one of humanity.
Attorney Mari NEWMAN represents the families of Devon Bailey and Elijah McClain.
There is simply no substitute for body-worn cameras in showing what really happened.
As county sheriffs work with politicians to clarify many parts of the law.
A lot of the focus of this bill was really on transparency and accountability of police. And I can tell you that without getting into the details of the bill, I don't think anyone as a law enforcement leader is opposed to those things.
The legislature plans on tackling more related issues this session. Always watching out for you, Southern Colorado. Colette Bordelon, News 5.